it out in the second phase, you know, probably feeling like, hey, we don't need to go there. We have a deeper map pool. Let's force them to play something else, and Nuke it is.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts about the map?
No, it's a map that 3D Max are pretty comfortable on as well. I've seen them have a few reps on it, but at the same time, against Eternal Fire, I doubt it.
All right, well, we're going straight into the game for this one, so take it away, Harry and Hugo.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to this, as I have for all the games so far. They've all surprised in unique and beautiful ways.
Yeah. I think the difference here is we just don't
this
have
one, I think it's more tightly contested.
Yeah, super heavy favorite, super heavy underdog. In theory, a lot of a closer game. That being said, our other game is very close. So what can we expect here? Anything's possible in Counter-Strike. That's why we love it.
Yeah, I think I've stopped with the whole prediction thing after how today's going. Here we are.
Good idea.
Push into the hut to open up this pistol.
Calix playing with his food.
Ooh, but Lucky catching that push in from the ramp side. Now, he is pincered right now, but he's going to go looking for Woxic. Major wins his fight in the meantime from up in the heavens. Maka and Lucky have a chance to try and fan out together over this A site, but instead, Lucky wins that one over Woxic. That's opened up a route into this pistol for 3D Max.
Oh!
Hang on a second, he's all right.
Salvageable.
Been able to get out of there, given a second chance.
Yeah, no armor though. A couple of shots will just end this round, and 3D Max have good positions. They're lined up together, and they fight together. 3 kills from Lucky. Anything but luck as they put a pistol forward. 3D Max starting off on the right foot. I like the discussion on the desk of the fall-off of Eternal Fire, or the question of consistency. Every time we see them make a deep run and blow our minds, they do often fall back to not irrelevance, but it disappoints us.
Nice,
But multiple times they've done that and they've reinvented themselves and come back and look stronger, right? It was the last major they even made the playoffs. Fell to the champions. We're in a final just months later. Will Shanghai have more in store for Eternal Fire, or can 3D Max actually make a major? Did see them in the Copenhagen RMR, but there was nothing to speak for. Saw them in the even Antwerp RMR all the time ago, and similar result.
Out here in Yard. They managed to get Gravity across. Up into the heavens for this guy, and he's going to start wrapping them now. It looks like Calix has been dispatched to try and keep an eye on this, but he's already found the timing to get around him. Eternal Fire now feel very claustrophobic on this top side, but a backstab, well timed from Major. Right as Lobby opened up, right as Maka and co took their eyes... Oh, never mind. Exercise moves in. And quick work made of the Lobby crunch. Woxic lands the scout tag, softens up Lucky's, and Tares and Calix able to maneuver that one to steal the round away for Eternal Fire. The Force Buy immediately turns the heat up on this game.
Eternal Fire, you can never rest easy when these guys are on low guns. So good at winning. Even eco rounds, 5-7s, MP9s, brutal. Woxic's been bringing so much energy back to this team as well. Even in that EPL run that we've been talking about, was crazy on the cams. Heard him in the background there. Re-inspired after left hand got added. And I wish I was joking, but it really did make a difference. Whatever works for you.
You know, I think it's clear he's pretty particular about that stuff. Always been a high sense guy. You want everything to feel just right if you're Woxic.
High sense is underselling it. Astronomical. .3 Max looking for a D kill. If Major crosses back into the bomb site, maybe they'll find it. He's aware of this hold right now, and Total Fire playing a nice passive round on rifles, forcing the pistols to commit. Like the 3D Max are keeping some money as well. Not fully invested. Just hoping to let these deeks go one by one. It's very safe. Picking range outside. There's the rush upper. Denied. But we still have one more eco, even though that wasn't a full force. 3D Max can't buy much.
So for Eternal Fire, I think you set the stakes well. It's trying to get back to that level and replicate their very recent success at Majors. For 3D Max, it's trying to get to 1 full stop. Lucky, the only man to have managed it with that old French G2 roster. The last time you would have seen him at one was all the way back in Berlin.
Been some time. Ooh, through the smoke, Calyx ready to receive. Galil's at ramp. But flame off for this round. 3D Max can't really make anything of this though. Oh, I speak too soon. A great flashbang. Woxic gets out. Able to tango, exercise, dances around that corner, grabs an upgrade. 3D Max making a lot out of little. Even a plant being mostly conceded on A if they tried. But Gravity going into what feels like a guaranteed loss if he ends B, but he breaks a window, comes back up ramp, 20 seconds. No one here to stop him but Major. Ooh. Oh. Ah! Plants everything. Plants enough. Eternal Fire playing just slow and steady, playing methodical right now. Not panicking. Not trying to force kills and give 3D Max what they want. A bit of a brawl. A lot of great aimers on this team. This match feeling almost meditative versus our last two.
Well, yeah, I mean, also, if the last two have taught me anything, it's like gonna need to conserve some energy here.
For the 12-3 comeback.
Yeah. So, Eternal Fire off to a hot start, and it gets sweeter in this round as they find the opener. Lucky dead, but there's Gravity with the response. It's Arcadia here, causing a lot of problems over in main. Maka unable to get the trade, but Exercise will secure it. Chance spam him through the door.
Nice.
There's that Woxic AWP springing to life, but it has opened up a route for Maka.
Yeah, he heard the drop for sure.
Gonna try and pinch the ramp, but this move from Calix, oh, that was kind of everything there. A nice idea as they know outside was left open. Maka's gonna try use his timing. They actually completely split up with Exercise selling the fake down at lower. The thing that's worrisome is they've aggroed in through lobby. Maka's secured the top site, but the bomb might get lost here. Exercise, as he roots back up, has not one, but 2 fights to win.
Good realization, there could be 2.
Oh no, but he's going to recommit into this, and Woxic's reposition. You're not ready for that. Backstab, that's the bomb away. And this split up leaves Maka far from home. That bomb down at ramp. He's going to try and reroute in to grab it, but Woxic's already up and left. With so little time left, he's just conceded control over that bomb. He doesn't have the info where Maka is. I think this is a heads-up play from Woxic.
Yeah, but I think you surely go B here just because of the bomb position. So Woxic can't actually play for B with this setup, and Maka can just run lower unless he overthinks it. They've done a lot of fakery already in these couple of rounds, but he's just going to commit with what he knows. That empty B bomb site, Woxic makes it clear, steps on upper, give Maka time to pick his post-plant position.
Gonna go hunting as Woxic. Maka not moving a muscle, calls his bluff. Swings out late, and Woxic picked up.
Yeah.
Tries to wait for the info, but it goes both ways. Maka also hears those footsteps. It makes it a level playing field, and then Maka gets set up in a post plant. The advantage leaning towards him there in that 1v1.
Feels like Woxic overcooked just because of the bomb position. If it was like closer to hell or somewhere that would bait you maybe into resetting lobby, or you had time to do so. But Maka really doesn't have time to do anything but go B. Unless you're really risking it all, just flying up that ladder for heaven. B does feel like your safer option. You have util, you get it down, you have options. You can plant in the smoke. So I can see what Woxic was going for, but Maka's best option was always just to take the gamble on lower. Seeing some risky moves from 3D Max right now, right? Splitting up in these 2v2s. They've done it a couple of times. Pull some fakes. Almost pay the price there. But a clutch up. Give 3D Max an important gun round. Eternal Fire, buy back. Money on the line for both teams here. Whoever wins this will start to streak.
Oh, good flash in the door. Arcadia, so keen to be involved early. He had a kind of rough start in their opening game, but he's looking to make amends for that here and now. And that's a good sign. You want Arcadia switched online. I think in the eyes of many, he was a much-needed piece to this Eternal Fire project. Kind of a diamond in the rough that they found and have been keen to hold on to. Obviously, the rest of these guys in the Eternal Fire squad have been household names of Turkish Counter-Strike for the longest time. And sure, not always on the same side. But that's what this reunion was meant to be, and then you tied it together really nicely with Wycadia in there. Calix dueling out in the yard. 2 players make it past him. Exercise right now causing a bit of a problem with Gravity now throwing his name into the fights out in the yard. They learn about this heavy presence from 3D Max, and they completely back up. Looking to go main. Zantares, this is a nice move to start to cut down some of these worries on the yard side. He won't get to be involved on these players crossing into main, but he'll at least confirm he sees no one over in heaven. And so Major is allowed to focus into the site. That's an awkward jump. Trying to recover here.
Get out.
Ollie forces him off the line. He's done what he had to do. Claim the advantage for Eternal Fire. Woxic Zorb now gets a chance to be involved, and it's just Exercise left up against it all. That Woxic AWP bringing the pain, bears down upon them. And Eternal Fire are able to salvage that one.
Yeah, you're dead on with that aggression from Xantares, but the best part about it is it's not entirely just him. It's also Woxic re-pushing ramp, and Eternal Fire concede A to play active and re-clear positions, and it just means they have 3D Max boxed in, even though 3D Max walk in unknown to the back of the A site. Eternal Fire are just on the precipice, ready to pounce as soon as that info comes through from Major. So nice slow crawl for Eternal Fire after a big fight outside. Now got an eco, Hero Galil. Hardly pretty for Lucky, but gonna send these Tech 9s down secret with speed. Ooh, oh, very lucky that nade falls short. And the molly fails as well. Not Woxic's round right now. 3D Max also cross silently. So Eternal Fire don't jump or rotate down lower. Xantares will start to move. Aware of the possibility, that's it. No guarantee, no confirmation, not yet. Classic Xantares position. But they should surely split and trade him.
Good turn. Xantares feels very at home up on these rafters. Oh, there's a reason.
Get him.
They named this spot Xantares. Look at him go. A scene of beauty.
What can you do about that?
That's prime Xantares right there.
Beautiful. You just have to flood him, right? You have to flood him out below the door and shoot up. It's a very hard fight, but they just go for the plant. Sure, that was the goal, I guess, of the round, but when you get slaughtered like that by a solo B player, does not inspire much confidence. Very good nuke put up so far by Eternal Fire. But one where you still expect 3D Max to have a bit more depth in a BO1.
Is ahead of this smoke, but they're trying to bait. Oh, never mind. It's all come together quite nicely.
Sure.
Looks like Calix had missed that window completely. Let's force him to fire off a little sooner than maybe you would have liked to help out Xantares there. But still, you want to go running into Xantares on the B site after last round? I'm not sure. 3D Max, they pumped the brakes.
They've been getting stuck on ramp in a lot of these rounds, right, where your options aren't good either way. And you just have to try and trade out Xantares, but easier said than done. They spot him on a jiggle. Wycadia already here. Might be deeper than they're ready for. Expect a molly in this position. And that gives away his pos. Even a deeper molly as they butchered the first one. And they clear this out entirely. Bomb plant coming in, 3v3 retake, Woxic on the flank.
3D Max have a strong post plant as well with 2 players in at the door.
It takes so long for Woxic.
Should be cognizant that this side player might have struggled to go anywhere with Maka now dead. Lucky has got a lot of the round riding on his shoulders, just a one and done.
Good flank.
Joko. Oh no, as he swings out wide, miss spray on the first, and Wycadia puts a stop to him. Considering they lose the double doors, you have a nice spot to play that bomb around, and you've got Lucky entrenched up behind the silo with a freebie onto Woxic on that rotate. Eternal Fire do a very good job of battling back in for that one. 3D Max actually even tried to press the issue even further. They were flanking those players over at Decon. They tried to push it. And that's a decision they end up regretting as Eternal Fire regain control over the round. This CT side picking up a lot of steam right now.
Yeah, it's a teeth-gritting clutch right there for Joko. Not what you need at this point in the game. As just like you put it, Eternal Fire in full control at the moment, playing slow and steady on these retakes. Quick drop, denied. Xantares good for 2 as well, but Joko still lines up a couple more, and they go for a quick A split. That's a beautiful entry from Exercise. Woxic can't pick a target. He falls immediately, and Calix just has to alley-oop up the vent, but Lucky says no. So 3D Max up the pace and up the results, fielding a T-side rifle round.
That's a crazy round.
It's one way to do it.
Xantares double kill into the quick double back from Joko. Oh. Timeout called in for Eternal Fire. Yeah, you know, I think already you're at a point where you've had a good CT side here. You've kind of put your best foot forward, but you don't want, you know, when the chance is there to sweeten the deal, you don't want to hand 3D Max a way back into it to kind of tie up this first half. So that's what they're discussing now. Well, the ball is still in their court. I think as well, you know, in that last one, it's an up-tempo play, but you feel like the 5v3 that Xantares delivers you here would have been more than enough. It's that awkward lineup between him and Wycadia that really hurts. So after falling short in the clutch, Joko able to make magic happen in the next round, thanks to that double kill. 3D Max, this is where we see, can they recover? Can they stumble back into this game? 6-6 is still achievable here. And that's in spite of getting kind of the best look at Xantares, as best as you could hope for here. 3D Max get players down secret, and they do so quietly.
Oh, but Vent is still... Xantares just doesn't care. He'll take that risk. He'll go for that early rotate. Ooh, awkward bounce of that smoke. So he'll have to change side, but yeah, you're gambling either way. They could walk through. Luckily, 3D Max are not emboldened enough to make a risk like that a reality. Woxic getting keen. Hits his for free. 5-on-4 for Eternal Fire. Xantares back to the other side after spamming on double doors. Gravity gets a spot. Xantares doesn't overcook. Retreats to B, but they chase him down right now. Xantares still gets a dink off on that second player, and they're being fast flanked as well. 3D Max could not get comfortable. Flanks on flanks. Lucky drops Calix 2 in the door. Joko opens up, and Wycadia closes down. This round floating in tandem right now. 3D Max need the cover.
Oh, nice. Lucky providing this Overwatch. It's so keen. He comes in on that ramp flank. And now him and Maka carve a path back into this to make it 3D Max's after all. It's another round where you think Xantares has done enough. But it might all be for naught unless Major can clutch sharp. One more to find. Maka doesn't swing him.
Gave it away.
And he makes noise there. So now Major has the info. Trying to go hunting. Trying to play for the kill onto Maka, and he needs it swiftly. The info goes both ways, and Maka,
don't know what
calm, collected.
That was such a weird clutch. Maka gives away his pause when Major had no idea. Then Maka disappears. He can only be in one place, and Major checks dark. He hasn't made noise. He can't be dark. He shot a bullet. Did Major think that was him shooting because he fell? He'd shot the window out. Or shot to trade, or I don't know. It was just a shot in double door, in nowhere. That was such a weird clutch from both players.
That's after as well. I felt like Eternal Fire were handed a bit of a freebie on the door push from Joko.
Yeah.
I felt like that was more than enough to bring them back into it, but 3D Max are on the verge of tying up this first half. There's been some weirdness in there, sure.
This is, yeah, I got to give it to 3D Max somehow in a very powerful position to draw this half out. But it feels like Eternal Fire have let them in.
I like that way Wycadia holds his shot there.
Just guarantees
like,
it.
Trying to get 3D Max to commit to their original call, this upper play, but It is just a bullet storm here out towards the top site. 3D Max just have Wycadia left to get past. 3 kills deep already, a 1v2, and there's the swing from the AWP to seal the deal. Maka closes another round for 3D Max.
Yeah, excellent recovery from the French. And Eternal Fire, they can still make this a pretty CT side with a 7-5 lead. Seen a lot of rounds ending lower. Eternal Fire have not really contested the outside. That won't change. Just Woxic's Orb. Likely to get smoked off here as 3D Max get ready on upper. Fake Molotov so Magic can rush Hut. That's very cheeky. They molly Hut roof, the CTs, so they can push. Still an entry comes in from the Orb. But 3D Max, as a result, get down below. It's all fake. Gravity can walk this smoke. He knows exactly where it was thrown from. He's got a good read, but Major repositions nicely. This now has to kind of end up. A noise has been made. And Eternal Fire make another intelligent mid-round push. They've just got to be cognizant of exercise in the back of the lobby. Do they hear Maka resetting as well? Oh, that gives away everything.
Oh, just the dink for Xantares.
He made a step. Oh, God. Bungled. Bomb silo. They're in heaven. What's going on?
Wycadia has that 1 kill trapped in at lobby, but you're dead on. This player out through the heavens causes you a bit of an issue. Wycadia. Oh, what? Now they're vent dropping. This is.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening.
Wycadia, though, fast on the approach down towards ramp. He's going to have a 1v1 here. Maybe a chance for the round with it. Swing out from Maka. He's been good at closing these rounds. He's been good at keeping them safe for 3D Max, but these shots are sailing past Wycadia, and now it's just Joko left to beat.
No kit.
Has a Molotov, though. That's going to buy you precious time. Wycadia tries to commit to the stick. You can see him in the door. It's an awkward whiff spray. Wycadia tap again. Swings wide. Joko
He's got it.
Falls, and the defuse held. Wycadia with the clutch. Somehow, someway, Eternal Fire secure themselves a 7th. Like we all expected, they managed to close out that round.
It's a struggle for both teams right now, but Eternal Fire pull it over the line at the end of the half. A very topsy-turvy game of Nuke, where they're using the layers of the map and every available option. They're above you, they're below you, they're inside you, they're outside. I mean, I got to give it still 3D Max. It could have been swept in this half, but they field some nice clutches at the end there on their T side. So very close rounds. Did feel like, as I said, Eternal Fire let them back in, but Wycadia winning a crucial 1v2 at the end of the half to make this, dare I say, comfortable for Eternal Fire.
Heavy topside lean for 3D Max. They're anticipating something fast here from the Eternal Fire squad. Joko has these dual Berettas in a ramp and is good on the opener. Maka peeking out from hell, has support now in the form of Gravity. That's 2 players spotted over at the ramp room. Eternal Fire looks like this is the El Clasico kind of ramp fake into the top site here. Knowing you're going to shuffle around the defense, getting that 1 kill helps you in that goal. But back here in main, that's where Lucky strikes. Chart-topping performance right now. Him and Exercise, the two guys doing it for 3D Max. They both fall out of the round. Oh, Acadia has the chance at the 1v1 here. Maka was so far removed. Rotating in late from ramp. Acadia goes back and just gets caught by Maka in rotation.
The timing of that, milliseconds out of his view when he turns to clear door. And Maka closes yet another round. He's been full of them this game. The clutch AWP star of this squad. He does it all. Quite literally leading them to victory. As Eternal Fire have to bear the brunt of a near full eco. Oh, that's a blue deagle. That's the new deagle, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very blue. Well, blue in the face now.
Oh, lucky, yeah. That's lovely.
Woohoo!
Santares, 1v4. MP9 will get faced here. Ooh, Gravity with the trade keeps it nice and square for 3D Max. And look at them stickers.
Are they upside down Titans?
Full blue Deeg, dripped out with the Titans. Obviously, Match had his time in French squads, especially after that kind of the fall of Space Soldiers back in the day. During that time, never linked up with the 3D Max guys. Often found himself on the other side of the server.
Yeah.
Back then, Lucky and Maka were in Heretics, I believe.
And the core of Joko, Exercise, and Gravity, or Lucky rather, were Heat. Had a couple of RMRs as well. Rio and Antwerp. Never quite making it to the major. These guys want to finally break through late in their careers. Eternal Fire know a thing or two about that. Bash on ramp, 2 for 1.
Acadia tries to lead the charge, but Lucky's already there. That's a crazy double up from Calix.
Ooh la la.
Feels right at home over towards ramp. So able to make quick work of those two players rotating in, but it's Maka who's been the closer, the guy to always be the one putting those rounds on the board for 3D Max left up in this. Might only have 8 kills, but there's certainly been impact behind them. Let's see what he can do. Eternal Fire do not have to rush this, and a Heaven Post plant is a strong position indeed. Hope it's going to be Woxic left up there with the Molotov just to really make this a safe round for Eternal Fire. They give Calix the bomb. Woxic plays late out in Heaven.
If he naded him, could have been a kill.
And it looks like Maka knows where his limits lie. He writes this one off. Oh my god.
Just gets out.
They weren't looking, they were curious. But Mac has been able to elude capture for now. And so Eternal Fire maintain that lead. Oh, Calix. It's a nice little AK pickup there for Maka right at the close. Still, it's not going to make this bitter pill any easier to swallow, as now their money bottoms out on the side of 3D Max.
Bits and pieces here, enough to win a round on CT Nuke, that's for sure. Just got to really get these rifles involved early in the round. Joko blocking. Heaven AK, Mini M4. That's a good nade. Very nice. 3D Max burned a lot of util early, installing this Eternal Fire hit, but they find a default set up with a ramp flash. We saw what Calix did the other round. He hit some brutal entries. So more of that could be conducive to a round here for Eternal Fire. Double lower for 3D Max, making a bit of a gamble. So Eternal Fire could walk into somewhat of a trap, but it's not the best weaponry in this position. And with no kit, if Eternal Fire can plant in a man advantage position, should just be a save.
3D Max are always keen to fight for this round, though. The double lower drop
Yeah, good move.
now gets reinforced. They pull everyone down here.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
no accounting for that. Joko tries his hand at the spam. Woxic will respond. And very, very quickly, these rifles clean up.
Bye.
So lucky Amaka get out of there at least. But that was the force buy from 3D Max. That was the all-in. These hero guns are going to be all you have to rely on in this next round.
Yeah.
Eternal Fire have really tried to also take the pace out of this game, and I think that's helped a lot here. 3D Max were throwing a lot of wild rounds in down the stretch, and honestly, you know, it was to their benefit. That was where they found the bulk of their successes. Weird and wonderful as the routes to get there were. Eternal Fire, it's been more methodical. It's been slower, trying to wait and see if 3D Max give them anything early before they make their move.
Yeah, and also just playing grouped basic CS right now in a positive way. They're just trading out on ramp a lot of the time. And the B hits have looked clean. Little to resist them. Only one really full buy round in this half for 3D Max, right? That was just a force. They're on an eco now. Last pause used to keep these couple of AKs going. And try and find a way to utilize them. Wouldn't be a bad move to just put them outside and hope Eternal Fire come your way. Not great spawns or anything though, so Eternal Fire just gonna keep this ball slowly rolling downhill.
Aggression out in the yard, but just that USP flung further afield for 3D Max. Joko still has a lot of info from this push, even if he's not going to be able to provide much. In terms of damage, he's cleared out some serious real estate, and you know those outside smokes are just a fake now. So you better place these two rifles as a result. That Zeus will be left out of the action if Eternal Fire follow through with the ramp hit, which is how it's looking right now.
They have no reason not to. It's been almost, even when 3D Max put 3 players here, Eternal Fire traded out positively. So if this is just going to be their game plan to break this weaker position, could be a fantastic answer on this T side. Maka gets a nice kill. Flank just misses Major. But he's still got to be careful. If he dies to this flank in lobby, that's a 5v3. That's 3 AKs picked up.
Last time, this rifle spam got instantly punished. This time, Lucky at least won't fall. Exercise.
Oh, he didn't check.
I mean, Magic's never going to look either. Who does this even favor? He's made it down the ramp with the USP. He's in behind them. Lantaris is now backing up. Exercise retrieves an AK. That was dropped earlier on over at ramp. He's used that to deal with Major. 3D Max have a fighting chance in this round.
Gotta be quick.
Lycadia and Calix. Xantara's now throwing his name in there, and it's nearly the transfer, but 3D Max, there's time for this with 2 hero guns, some crazy timings on the flank, and a big 3K from Maka. They have upset Eternal Fire there.
That's shocking to not even expect the lobby flank. I'm really surprised to see Major only hold hell that entire round. No noise made either way, and he just commits. He never even clicks, he never checks, he never looks back for a second. And that's the, you know, the ball stopped. Oh, awkward round for Eternal Fire. Not the make or break. They still have a bit of money. One more buy. But 3D Max give it a lifeline right now. They better take it. Sink or swim.
As has been the case, Eternal Fire starts slow and they then begin leaning over here towards ramp. Nade should be able to find a trickle of damage onto Xantares.
Going ramp again, I mean... Oh! When you've got Xantares and Calyx
that's
hitting
a Xantares peak.
Yeah, can't blame him. Major as well. Ripe round. Hitting 2 headshots in lobby. Sees a third. That's fine. They've got 4 down B already. Wycadia holding the flank, but playing a more active position. And that's really it. That's a round win.
I mean,
are they just going to go ramp every round?
You feel like they're kind of calling 3D Max's bluff here. It's like, you either put a lot of players there and address this problem heads up, or we're just going to keep exploiting it. And in 3D Max's mind, they're almost telling themselves, there's no way they just keep going ramp. And it keeps happening. And the longer this is kept up for, the more that mind game works for Eternal Fire. You know, the one round now where they finally decide to explode out A, it's going to feel a little under-defended. Maybe you start with a second player over at ramp. Maybe you assemble that boost. But whatever you do to try and solve this, you're going to have to siphon resources away from elsewhere on the map. I think Match has gotten very good at like not overcooking, not overthinking things. Just streamlining this T side, as we have seen really nothing but B ramp hits out of Eternal Fire. .3D Max still keep up the one-man hold there.
Oh, finally they changed something. And it doesn't go well. Lucky, beautiful double. Catches a top silo crawl. And Eternal Fire wishing they just went ramp. Wycadia down the vents is not going to save this round. Oh, needed that as well. An opportunity bungled. And you could justify a save, hilariously. Where is that bomb? Maybe in front of the box? J-Raz is running around finding it. There it is. Good luck. Maybe you can grab it here? Yeah, there we go.
.3D Max have so much advanced warning, so much advanced control here in the 5v2.
Good off angle, yeah.
There should be no way back into it. Calyx walking into Exercise's crosshair. That's the bomb away. And so even though Wycadia made it down the vent, it shouldn't transpire that anything comes of it. Should just be looking to save here, as the money is on the line for Eternal Fire.
The mind game next round is now, what do we do about ramp? Do 3D Max have numbers? Do they give it up? Do they maybe put the AWP there? Would be a lovely change. Sure, you can still get Xantares peaked. Many AWPers have. But if I'm Eternal Fire, I just go back to what's worked. Utilize your rifling stars to find that pick.
Counter-terrorists win.
5 alive round is so reassuring for 3D Max. It keeps their economy above water in this tense, slow, back and forth match. Still having a criminally quiet performance from Gravity. 4 and 17. Joko only a bit better. Gravity was meant to be this firepower piece added to the roster. They need him now. Even a slight uptick in performance could win this game. for 3D Max. In fairness, playing upper on this CT side, not yielding much fruit. It's not like Eternal Fire giving him any fights to warm back in. Eternal Fire call a timeout.
I mean, Gravity is kind of an interesting piece. It was when he joined this squad that we really saw him playing his first proper lands. And that was only earlier this year.
Pretty fresh-faced. Oh, quick drop vent. Xantara's creeping. Still strong in the lobby. Eternal Fire going to give Xantares the room and the time to accomplish what he can.
Fakes out the lower take, but Joko already has the info that there's no one here, no one's crossing, and so might feel prepared enough to call this a fake down at lower. 3D Max poised with 3 over towards this top site. Right as Eternal Fire look to make their move. They're in the right place. Joko can even try and fly up those vents if there's enough chaos. With how these rounds have gone, one thing is for certain, there will be chaos. Gravity and Exercise, strong crossfire to hold the line. Quick work made of the first 2 in, but Gravity low on back of the site, caught by Calix on the swing. Joko will make that play up the vent. Is anyone watching? He's found the gap, bomb denied. Now the support comes in from heaven. Maka versus Woxic. Clash of the Orpas, but Woxic down to the rifle. Low on health, swing out from Maka. Low HP and Maka, stylish on the jiggle.
I can't believe he's swinging him there. That's ballsy for Maka. 10 seconds, bomb loose. Maka taking every fight he can. And finally, Eternal Fire test this top site. They live to regret it. 3D Max do not relent. Up the vent. From the top. And they finally break the money. That's despite 2 fantastic opening kills for Calix in that top site in a 3v5. He's had a couple of, well, you want to say impactful kills, but they go nowhere. And Major just thinking it over because Eternal Fire, the script has flipped. They are now in the backseat, being driven off a cliff.
Well, this is where, like, those kind of mind games that we talked about earlier almost start to run against you. In Maj's head, he's probably thinking, it feels too obvious, doesn't it, to go back to ramp now?
I think you just got to do it, right? Like,
it's not every day you get a game like this where one thing has worked so clearly for the Eternal Fire squad. Something as simple as just group hitting ramp.
Could also try secrets. No, they haven't been threatened outside. They just got burned by that one round that Lucky ran red. But for the most part, 3D Max don't start like that.
I think that's the other thing that's making this feel kind of wild, is like, on the side of Eternal Fire, it's a very even game. Everyone is pulling their weight. It's not like someone is really struggling here. You felt like you had the edge in terms of the calls as well. There's a 3-kill disparity from top to bottom that Xantares is helping to grow a little bit in this round. But Lucky has just been a menace, and then you've had Maka and Exercise to help tie those rounds together. Sadly for Joko and Joko and Gravity, rather, they haven't really been a part of the conversation. You know, it's very top heavy, and Lucky is always in the right place at the right time, it feels like. So what do Eternal Fire do? What did Major try and cook up there?
This is a mind game right now. It absolutely is. It's a test between Maka and Major in how you want to start your round. And Maka just has to trust in his riflers, his anchors, to hold it down. Oh my god, they call it a bluff. They go for a push, and that was not a clean fight by any means. Another push denied. Xantares just going to run out ramp. Knife out, he's dead.
Okay, you've learned where Lucky is. And I would almost want them just to overplay in relation to that. But they keep it slow, low and slow for now, allowing more aggression to come through. It's not really served 3D Max too well thus far, but they're committed to this idea. They want to clear lobby. Wycadia up close. First kill delivered, and Lucky now out of the round. Gravity has barely a chances to be involved here, but this has to be his round to keep it in check for 3D Max. Eternal Fire in his sight. They're in his domain. Does Gravity reign king? No, he falls. Maka. We said this guy's been closing rounds for 3D Max, but a 1-on-3. The odds heavily against him. And no swing from main, smoke in his face. Maka moves away. Is this him preparing to concede this to Eternal Fire?
It's gotta be. I mean, what can you say about Gravity? He's having a rough game as well, but that was his chance for redemption. To just at least get a kill or two to make this round interesting. Maka's not even in a safe position right now. He's got to go ramp, bottom ramp. He should live here.
They know where he's going to be, though, from that shot firing, surely.
But they also don't have money, so they can't risk anyone dying to the bomb. So 3D Max have to, Eternal Fire have to save just as much as he does. And I mean, yeah, 4-19. Not been up to him on this CT side, but that was his chance, and underwhelming.
Up until this point, it hasn't felt super consequential for 3D Max, right? But yeah, you're dead on. That had to be your moment, and he wasn't able to seize it.
Here we go, Eternal Fire, second win. They break a 3-round streak. Coming alive right at the end.
Fast out into the yard, and this time there's no one there to meet them. You were dead on in the last time they attempted this. Lucky really did leave an impact. He gave them second thoughts on staying away from the yard. What felt like it was going to be the rest of this T side, but they've gone back to it now. However, some well-timed aggression here from 3D Max as they aggroed ramp and saw no one's there. Eternal Fire have made it not super secretive when they're trying to hold this lobby control, and so when you don't see anyone, you should be ready for this push. Down at lower, Maka, first contact, but isn't given the time to back up and get away. They will actually give him that second chance, dropping the molly in, denying that AWP swing. And they reroute now out into Garage.
Don't mind about being loud about this, because they know the AWP can't come up. The best weapon is stuck lower. That gives them a lot of time to get a lot of space.
Waiting to come through main on the fade of this smoke. Gravity, 4-19. Major spots them aggressive through the door. That helps his forces paint a far better picture of where 3D Max are in this topside player. When you see them taking lobby control, you're holding the extremities here, you're holding Hut. Awkward spray for Xantares, who's been a menace in this game, but just the one and done from the power position. There's the lineup for Woxic. Head on a swivel, can't deal with exercise in time. Major's moving in a little later and is also cut down. It's just Calix, 1v2. Hopping in, bomb out in no man's land. He's going to cross in the open and get this into the crossfire. They've let him grab it. Exercise swings, time's running out. Calix, oh, he won't have time to plant. And Maka running away, takes it to time.
Oh, gotta give it to Exercise. What a round from him. 3 kills when they come running through the hot molly. 3D Max have done some crazy aggression in this CT side, but on top of that, he reads that reset of Major, who reset from spawn to main, and Exercise peaks him at the perfect point in the round. This is such a weird match of Counter-Strike. And it is going to come up in favor of the French unless Eternal Fire have something unbelievable. Unless they go back to the ramp, Harry. They've got nothing. 1 save gun. They're broke. Not even loss bonus. Desperate.
Yeah, what makes this so mad is how often these A takes have come up short, and that's in spite of the A anchor being 4-20. You ain't catching no smoke from him. It's everyone else. Insane round from Exercise. Lucky as this madman that always feels like he's in the right place. And in that round there, rather critically, Xantares in the power position, someone who has felt infallible for Eternal Fire, only able to get one when it needed to be even more.
This is what it's all for, though. Somehow Eternal Fire have managed to field a bunch of rifles in this round. A bit saved on for the previous. Even 3D Max's buy isn't perfect. The French with Pyjamas on 2. And already dry on utility. The kit on only the AWP. Eternal Fire get down secret. Xantares hasn't gone too far with his position before. This is the round to do it. Means they don't have him for ramp, but they do have Maka to worry about. And I think this is the best piece for this job right now. And a nice off angle to get a pick and drop down B. They leave lower completely open. After smoking Xantares off, back up the vent to reinforce upper. Is it another high-risk reward play into the lobby push?
Eternal Fire are holding for exactly that. Calyx on this angle deals with Exercise. That's the hero
Gravity
from the last round.
Oh,
Gravity.
No.
Nades rain in.
Oh,
he's
no,
displaced. Burned by the molly. They know he's close. This MP9 going to struggle. But he's got teammates here now to support him. Push into the heart, awkward whiff for Gravity. Eternal Fire batten down the hatches, trying to take us into overtime, and it's just Lucky and Maka between them and that goal. 2 from Lucky, but the end of the line, Woxic wide swings, and OT is secured.
My God, a roller coaster. It's got more spins, it's got more loops left in this game. Eternal Fire into the stacked upper site, find every entry, and it just feels like Gravity can do no right now. Set up by his teammate with an MP9 and still just overwhelmed. A huge chasm on this top site. Eternal Fire abuse again. Matcha. Another mad multi-kill from the captain. And it feels like Maka's just not been in the right place to actually win any rounds in this CT side. His score is great, but he's been saving so much. And that's because his starting positions, they're not coming. They haven't come ramp since he had the AWP. Then he starts secret. They bail. They see the AWP, they run away. I feel like Maka hasn't had a chance to, even though he's put pieces in the right place, he hasn't had a chance to actually win a round on his own. And for a talented AWP, that's got to feel frustrating. I wonder now in overtime, when you have the room to move, he'll start taking more risks. Could be a game changer. No AWP for Woxic. They keep it on the rifles. Playing very default heavy. Lucky swings outside. Gravity top hut. And Maka just trying to support his stars.
Eternal Fire have done a really good job of kind of leveraging the pressure on 3D Max right now. Look at all that util burn off the start, right? Gravity is sure been given some extra util in terms of the flashes and an extra nade, but they've burnt a lot of it. In terms of actually being able to slow down a play, all they have is this one smoke on Lucky. There's the util reply from Eternal Fire. More where that came from. Gravity is never allowed to feel comfortable in this top site, and a lot of pressure put on. As 3D Max have tried to plug the whole of A, they have fallen for this fake hook, line, and sinker. Lucky dead as well. Top performer falls. Maka's AWP finally in the right place, but it's just the one and done. Calyx quickly deals with him.
You can see he's feeling the pressure. He re-swings into a Molotov for the second kill as well, right? Could have just given it up, played 3v3, but now Eternal Fire, now they've got the advantage, they slow. They let 3D Max sink into this uncomfortable, quiet map. 20 seconds, so they've still got to trade up Harriet. Another shot, a redemption for Gravity.
Even one kill here and then ducking out would be massive.
They just saw him.
But you can tell he's feeling a tremendous amount of pressure. Gravity wrestles with the M4, and that's the bomb dropped. A very important kill as it's given Exercise time to get involved on the backstab. And so Gravity with only 5 kills, his 5th one coming in that round there, but it gets the attention away for just long enough for Exercise's flank.
Yeah, just enough. That's a real stinker for Eternal Fire. Walking past the player they knew was in window. And frustration starting to set in.
You feel like you're doing everything right. No one's having an off game. You're slowing down in the man advantages. You're dealing with all their star players.
3dmax don't play scared. Like, they've been pushing lobby, they've been very aggressive on the CT side. That's making it all the more frustrating, especially when that happens.
And this is where, you know, like for Eternal Fire, you think the pressure for this team kind of comes from within after their successes in Copenhagen. They're making a run all the way into the playoffs. They want to replicate that. It can be hard to catch lightning in a bottle twice here. Smoke's blowing open out in the yard. 3dmax have been very active with this util to disrupt these smokes, trying to get the info on if anyone's crossing. Lucky gets the spot on players back main, but Xantares, team flash.
One more.
Didn't spot Gravity as a result. Another kill for the struggling player. It's just a one and done. But it does make life a little easier for Exercise in at the top site. Gets out with 1.5. A dink onto Major. Joko from Heaven. Lucky spotted down at Secret earlier. They have an idea where one of these players are. They don't know about Joko, but the decision to wrap back into the lobby has given them safe ground. Major's looking like he wants to commit fully to this flank. He's hoping that 3dmax play this slow. If they go fast here, it leaves Woxic in a 1v2. And then Major has to start making noise. He loses that element of surprise. They are on the bomb. Woxic tries to put a stop to this, and he'll deliver all alone. Woxic left to his own devices and makes it happen.
Lucky just lets him get away with it. He stands still. He doesn't even swing to cover. There, of course, there's an angle from Hut to the site. He hangs his teammate out to dry. Needs to protect him there. When you're going for that stick. And Major's flank isn't even required for Woxic to close that round. Disastrous way to lose the 2v2. A game rife with mistakes.
Having Woxic be the one to clutch up there, though, I think that's a much-needed injection of energy for Eternal Fire. You talk a lot about the vibe and the hype that he brings to this team. Well, he has just delivered them a saving grace round, one where Major was so nearly left out of the picture entirely. Crazy shot for Maka over the smoke, catches Major in the air.
Just jumping back.
Replenishing the outside smokes now. This is something a little different from Eternal Fire. Usually it's been the one-time dump. 3dmax nade them open. They always get the info that no one's crossing. And so doing it again, they're hoping that that puts pressure on 3dmax to rotate because they're not using the outside smokes. But Maka has repositioned. This AWP finds its way over towards ramp. Last seen outside. Now aggressing and getting in the face of Eternal Fire.
Bomb spotted lobby for 3dmax. So even though Maka got seen as well, Woxic knows crossing here is difficult. He goes for another jiggle.
And he's been given time to get the shot off. Maka trading this is now wishful thinking. Eternal Fire kind of just have to let him have the space.
They have to go into a stack. They don't have a choice.
Out they come. Gravity in position to try and thin the herd out hard. And there's the full line of 3dmax to bring that one home. Maka pieces it together. For a brief moment there, 3dmax had fallen for the outside play, but Maka getting that spot, his decision to re-aggro lobby, putting himself in the right place on this AWP to make all the difference. 2 rounds in OT go the way of the 3dmax squad. A frustrating game right now, I think more so for Eternal Fire.
Yeah, there's so many opportunities, so many advantages, and also so many mistakes. I mean, both teams have certainly made them, but it feels like 3dmax is starting to take the reins of this game. They were the ones who hit match point first, and they take a lead into the second half of this OT. They do it all Majoritarily 4v5. I like your point about how it just feels like everyone's performing for Eternal Fire. It's not weak individuals. Major's top fragging right now. And that makes it feel all the more worse for the leader who can't just kick 3D Max out of this game. And the underdogs might come through with yet another win in this 1-0 matchup. This would be the closest they'd find themselves to the major. Never seen before for 4 of these players. Max down secret, but it's delayed outside with the orb. Looking for a pick, looking for a reaction. They trust Gravity to sell this one in secret, and in fact they have Calyx trapped. Question is, can they make him move? Can they force enough reaction that Calyx gives this AWP a man advantage? That will help.
That's it. Wild man, a fine opening. Lucky clashes with Xantares and steals his thunder here. T-side openers are plenty, but there's Calyx bringing it back into a 4-on-4. However, Gravity has slipped the net, and Gravity very, very quickly here finds himself in the position to try and win the round. Lucky continues putting up numbers in the meantime. Gravity fires off, does give away his position, and it's Maka to get that kill.
Got to push lobby.
Acadia running out of options as they've wrapped in through heaven. There's Gravity, kill number 7, but it hits like a ton of bricks to Eternal Fire.
I don't know if that comm even came in. I don't think they knew because Maka got the kill.
And now it's just Woxic. The nade through the door gives away his position. They know he's pushed up in through the ramp room. Might have delivered a 1v2 just moments ago, but not long for this world is Woxic. 3D Max have 2 chances now to secure that 2-0 run on day 1 of the RMR.
And such a monster game for Lucky Race. Kept it up even into the overtime. 31-19. The most experienced player of this team. 2 top 16 appearances at majors. And looking to try and return there. One more round will put 3D Max just a single BO3 away from the Shanghai Major.
Yeah, you can tell how much Lucky wants this. I mean, this has been the goal ever since that departure from the G2 squad. He has been around in many a French roster trying to rebuild this scene. 5 years in the making. And will this be the one where he finally strikes gold?
Feels like it's there for the taking. They have Eternal Fire on the ropes. They have them pissed off, disappointed, and down by 2 rounds. Can 3D Max seize the moment? Great grenade outside. Xantares looking to fight. Joko with a big entry. Removes the AWP from Garage with a 2-shot. Maka blind fires off. And 3D Max are right there.
This is it. This is the best chance you might have to get this one over the line. Acadia already drops down B. He joins up with Major down here, but for the time being, that's left Calyx all alone up here in heaven. And Gravity, who came in to round 24 with just 5 kills. The few he's found down the stretch have carried impact for 3D Max. Far from being the hero, but wants to avoid that age-old French moniker of being the problem. 3D Max pump the brakes. They do to Eternal Fire what Eternal Fire have done to them every time they found these advantages. Gravity trying to get past Calyx, gives this one up, and Acadia flanks out from down towards lower. A 5v3 turned 3v2 to the advantage of Eternal Fire. Joko, crazy play up the ladder, and it all falls to Lucky, the guy topping the charts for 3D Max. Dead to the Calyx flank out in heaven.
That's super unfortunate timing more than anything. 3D Max pumped the brakes, and as soon as they start repositioning and start moving, Maka moving through Garage, Gravity coming up heaven, that's when Eternal Fire start playing for info. The map's too quiet. They start getting spots. What? Magic grabs a kill in hell. Dear, oh dear. If they just grouped and went for a quick upper split, they would have had a 5v1. A wasted opportunity, but one more chance still in this overtime. However, you're going to be kicking yourself.
There is a very real world where that is the best shot you get to go 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Still a round left in this OT. Still another chance for 3D Max, but Eternal Fire, there's no doubting they're hungry. When you pull back a 3v5 to keep the dream alive. After success in Copenhagen. After setting a standard, and a standard you are keen to keep. Eternal Fire bring the heat in this final round. 3D Max try a change of pace. Straight out into the top site, into Wycadia. Head on a swivel. Help from Xantares. There's that dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Xantares is flushed out. Gravity and Exercise left up in this one. And 1-6 created. Calyx battling to hold on. It's down to this clutch. Exercise is low on health. Blunders made from both teams. Can Eternal Fire keep this going? 3D Max bet it all on Exercise, who's breathing heavy right now in this clutch. Bomb retrieved, and he slinks out of there. This one is going to be low and slow as Exercise plays around the world. Calyx clears. He has the info. He's not in A. Exercise trying to wrap. Calyx coming down the ladder. This could be it. Damage done. Softens up his final target. Calyx reroutes. Both players scared. Both players frightened. The weight of this game resting heavy on their shoulders. But Exercise, bomb plant down at lower. The advantage now sides with him as Calyx tries to close the net. Moving through. Calyx holds for a moment. Time is of the essence.
He faked the door.
So many angles now for Calyx to consider, but he's got to believe, got to be true. Exercise plays the long game on this one, positioned in, back of the site, wrapping round. Calyx has the angle to fight this. Missed opportunity. The pressure is building.
No.
And Calyx just about holds on. One more OT required as Eternal Fire long it out and keep themselves alive. Live to fight another day as this one is run back in another OT.
Unbelievable roller coaster round and match between Eternal Fire and 3D Max. And I mean, they had to win that round, didn't they? After Woxic jumps out of heaven and dies to full damage, Calyx had to close it. And all 3D Max can think about is that 5v3 in the round prior. What a devastating way to lose this game. If Eternal Fire wake up now.
And they have started to wake up. While there was no clear defining hero player, while you could have looked to big moments from Wycadia, from Xantares, they both put on a clinic in that final round of that overtime there. And then Calyx, as a real backbreaker, he was one of the first to get involved in the 3v5. He wins a 1v2 to keep the game in check. Anyone could take this, but Eternal Fire, the more experienced at dealing with these pressures, the guys with a pedigree, with a standard to keep up to, in this second OT, this is where you're fearful that they do their best work.
Absolutely. They've had an incredible 2024, you know, waning form after every deep run, but it was the major in Copenhagen where they astounded and made top 8. It was Pro League where they almost took the trophy over Na'Vi in a 5-map banger. And they're up against a team who have only come close, who have never accomplished even attendance to the world's biggest Counter-Strike tournament.
Let's see who sets the tone in this second overtime.
There's been very slow rounds all game. This has not been a game, you know, built off of explosive upper hits or fast yard rushes. It has been meticulous and all the more painful for the losing team of each and every round. Peppered with tiny mistakes. Oh, good mollies. Astralis knows he can get in cover on this box. This is safe from Molotovs. Down it goes, a second molly. They weren't close enough to hear the first, but it doesn't matter when Gravity hits a flick like that. Huge kill.
Yeah, you will trade Gravity for Xantares every day of the week. Woxic.
Oh!
Awkward whiff.
He's cooked.
He was the one who almost gave away that final clutch of the game. Was keen to try and leave his mark in this round. But Calyx falls on the ramp side. 3D Max have all the positioning they were looking for and then some. They have won the fights out in the yard. They have won the fights over at ramp. Now they control the heavens. Eternal Fire have robbed them of ramp room. Woxic's orb fires off. They've learned about that now. Trapped inside of the hut. Woxic, that molly's gonna hurt. He has to get out of there. Wycadia coming up through the vents. There's a temporary window for him to move in. One quick kill from Wycadia, but it's just Woxic, low on HP. Trying to start this one off the right way, but it's Lucky's nade to bring it home. 3D Max, first in OT, goes their way.
It's always Lucky, man, in these hyper rounds, in these explosive rounds where you need someone to get a quick multi-kill. Lucky does the damage, 3 frags and a closer. And stress continues for Eternal Fire. They just cannot catch a moment to relax in this game. 35-21 on Lucky. But they're going to need more than luck to close out this OT. Maka through the smoke. Heroic move. Scope's close. Calyx surely heard that. And Woxic peeks in. They're both dead. Gravity with another. Lucky joins the fray. And 3D Max, an unlosable round with vent control.
Not a round Eternal Fire can even entertain.
No.
Losing Major there is actually a huge problem. These guns had to be saved if you wanted a semblance of a buy in the next. This could be a flawless T-side for 3D Max, who completely changed the pace, who tried to rewrite how they've played this game in that round there. It's all about speed. It's all about the momentum out through the ramp room, and everyone delivers for them. Eternal Fire are in dire straits.
Oh dear. And they needed that. They really needed that. Look at this money.
No save, no money.
Look at it.
No chance, surely, for Eternal Fire. This might be flawless from the 3D Max squad after what could be best described as a very back and forth tug of war between these teams.
And to be honest, a shocking last 2 rounds of the previous overtime for 3D Max, right? Like the 5-on-3 they butcher, and that 1v1 that is just so all over the place. And now, focused, smiles on their faces. An anti-eco, essentially, away from a clean T side. The game that just keeps on giving. This is a kick in the teeth for the Turks. A curb stomp to be on MP9s in overtime.
Exercise dispatches of Calyx early. Someone who did so much to try and long out that first OT for Eternal Fire is the first to fall on a flawless run from 3D Max. They pump the brakes, they go back to this yard control. Smoke's still in play to adorn the crossing and give them a helping hand, and they're not super worried. They know there's a lot of limitations here for Eternal Fire. Yard is a very safe place right now if you're 3D Max. And so they have full control. This is similar to when they were in that 5-on-3. The difference now is they are playing with pace and confidence. They run it straight down secret. Rotate for Wycadia is held in the vents. Woxic dead, first responder, first man to fall. And there's Joko to knock Major out of contention over at ramp. Wycadia 1v5. And while 3D Max have certainly misplayed some moments, they will not misplay this one. A flawless T-side put forward from the Frenchman.
No excuses now. Absolutely unforgivable to lose from this position. It's 3 straight rounds on T-side. It's all the momentum. It's a broken mentor on Eternal Fire. I don't see a will, a world, a way that Eternal Fire can win from this position. Especially when you think about how well their T-side started on Reg, but then how dismal it ended up once they stopped rifling out ramp. Once Maka pulled the AWP into that position, Eternal Fire could not find a consistent answer to the T-half.
The only thing that worked was ramp hits, and the people who know that better than anyone were this 3D Max squad. I really want to know if they pad it out to open up this CT half, because they've now got 3 chances to walk this game over the line, to bring it home, go 2-0 up and be a best of 3 away from making the major. Lucky, nearly 40 kills deep for the side of 3D Max. There is no question that he wants this.
Unbelievable.
The most experienced player, the only one on the 3D Max roster to have attended majors before, 2 of them in the French G2 jersey. And then begins a 5-year struggle to try and get back to that point. Lucky as the front man, as the figurehead, as the top performer, he is the robe and the spear. And taking heads off right now as this second half begins.
Back to ramp.
Eternal Fire look to go back to what worked.
It might be a fake though. They've still got 2 players at the bottom looking at lobby. They at least need to show some face here, force a rotate. They've actually got 3 CTs in position right now. There's a hook line and sink goodbye for 3D Max, falling for it fully. Maka with the orb.
Oh wait, but Lucky's had a feeling. He's actually just left the ramp rim and instead taken up position over in heaven. Lucky has so often found himself in the right place to have an impact. That's how he's 37 kills deep. And as he moves into heaven, he will be here. He will be a part of the conversation to try and stop this top site hit. The util, well timed to slow this down and take the pace out of it.
They might have to go ramp at this point. They're being heavy blocked, but there's no way you're ready for this top position so late in the round. A missed whiff. An opportunity falls by the wayside, and Maka can't stop Major from getting down the ramp.
Even this is awkward though. 25 seconds. What? You're going to bring the bomb back? Now you've lost Major. Now you've lost your canary in the coal mine. 3 quick kills come out on the top site hit, and it's just Maka left. 1v4, he's out of there. He can't win this. And so Eternal Fire, they might have nearly fallen for the bait. They might have nearly lost this all to time. But in an instant, that trio, Wycadia, Xantares, and Calix, all deliver the goods.
They are so blown away from that ramp attack on the T side earlier in regulation that they all just start to move. They have ants in their pants, Harry. They can't sit still. It's the aggression pushing towards lobby to set up for flanks. Eternal Fire punish. It was A all along. That was the plan. Major does enough to bait them to move, and Xantares shoots him in the side of the head. No save in that situation for Maka. He keeps his orb, that's all. And we fight on. No one has a good grip on this game. And 3D Max have lost from this very position in the previous overtime. 2 rounds to the advantage on match point.
But the one thing they could learn very, very quickly is exactly what Eternal Fire had to come to terms with. If you lose these first two CT overtime, you're broke. Maka makes a ballsy play straight in through the doorway. One door opened, another closes. He's quickly dealt with. Wycadia keeps his head on a swivel and even looks to read this push from Joko. It's aggression all across the board for 3D Max. As Joko takes contact, that's where you might get exercise. Trying to activate, pushing in through the lobby, falls at the hand of Calix. It's all Joko, it's all him. Bomb away, it's left to Major. Has to clutch up, has to deliver for Eternal Fire to survive the night. The captain of Eternal Fire, unburdened with the responsibility of others, now only has himself to worry about. As the team look on, can Major make magic happen? Lucky already, right place, right time. That's been his story all across this match. Already down here in B, ready to tango. This is far from safe for Major. Does he have the confidence to swing that door wide open and close it shut on Eternal Fire? 2-0.
This was never going to be easy for 3D Max. Lucky the legend, a spot away from the Major, 1 BO3. This was a hard-fought battle, but c'est la vie.